I think there's a huge amount of creativity and work in getting these non-deterministic models to work in production use cases, right? So there's this last mile problem. And in my experience, like a lot of the last mile ends up being like the last 99 miles, right? I don't think the only interface is going to be a blank text box and like
Uh-huh.
free-form natural language input, right? And so
Yeah.
figuring out how to leverage existing data sources and then making the user experience actually work for end users efficiently and intuitively is I think one big piece of it. If you zoom out a bit, everything that was hard about building a software startup before is still hard. It's just you have these magical capabilities and that like creating intelligence is much easier, right? So the things that were hard before, like product understanding your customer problem, distribution, you still have to go do all of those things as an AI native startup. If we I guess one other thought about the value being in the model, and like you alluded to this question of, do incumbents have the data advantage? I think in this idea of a data flywheel and the distribution advantages they certainly have.
Mhm.
One of the interesting experiences I've had with investments we've made is in order to fine tune and train models, or even inject models with the correct context, data has to be shaped and curated and of a certain quality, right? And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
many of the data sets that you might want to use, even in this new world, they're not actually collected by the
Mhm.
incumbents, or
Mhm.
the incumbents don't necessarily have the rights with their customers to use some of this data, right? And so I do think to some degree, both incumbents and startups are often at the same starting line in terms of
Mhm.
going and collecting and cleaning up and
Mhm.
curating that data.